with today's technology, it's easier to find a job than ever before. When I was first looking for a job, I sent out what's called a resume tape. So I made it when I was in college. It was basically like a video version of the work that I would like to do. So a few little tapes of my weather forecast, sent them out to 36 different stations across the country. There's a website that we use in TV called tvjobs.com. I looked for different TV jobs through that website, and I sent out my tape to places that were looking for a meteorologist as like an entry-level position. So that meant that I was sending my tape to very small TV stations in very small towns that in some cases were thousands of miles away from home. But I figured that wherever I landed would be the right place for me. And I got very lucky landing my first job in Midland, Texas, which was almost 2,000 miles away from home. And it was a very different experience for me. But I think that that's what made it great for me, is that I was so far outside of my comfort zone that I had to just kind of dive in and learn as much as I could. And I spent so much time at work in those first couple of years in Midland, Texas, because I was learning so much, and it was great to just kind of dive into my work and not really have a lot of distractions. So when I first started out in my career, I just kind of took whatever job I could get. But then after that, I was allowed to be a little more picky. So after I had spent about 1.5 years in Midland, Texas, I started to look for my next job. And at that point, I contacted my alumni association, the career services that they have there, and they helped me to find a job that was a little bit closer to home for me. I'm from the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, and I found a job in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So that was only about 100 miles from home. And I was lucky enough to get that job in Harrisburg, and I was there for a couple years. In TV, it's a little bit different. In the TV news business, when you start looking for jobs that are in what are called big markets, so New York and LA and San Francisco and big TV stations, big cities, you are better off looking for jobs with what's called a talent agent. So I ended up finding a talent agent when I was in Harrisburg, and that agent helped me to get my next job. So when I was still in Harrisburg, still pretty young, I was 26 years old, I started flying all over the country looking for my next job, and I ended up getting an offer from a TV station in Philadelphia. So that's where I landed next, very close to home because I was from the Lehigh Valley. And I was able to have that job in Philadelphia, and I worked there for 3 years. And now, through the help of my agent, once again, I'm working at WTNH in New Haven, Connecticut.